Next, we look at our example 4. You give here the 25% of all these units are manufactured by electronics company and TCs, right? It has your 25%. Okay, so this is your P equals 0.25%. In this case, the event here is defective, right? Alright, so V1 is active, this assumed as your substantive event. Now, you want to find probably when exactly of the VCR is effective. Also, you need to find for at least 2 of the VCR is defective, then 3 of this VCR is effective. So first, you can you want to find probably exactly 1 VCR is effective. Alright, check that in binomial table. So you should be able to read your binomial here to get the value. Okay. First is your P, U. And finally should be your final answer. Okay, simple. Now in this case, of course, at least 2. So, because of the protocol, again, you can find from the binomial. And finally, you should get this value for your probability. These 2 is effective. And finally, all of this VCR is defective, so it means exactly 3. So this part here, and of course this part here. If you're not sure, you may refer back to the important table that I have shown you previously. Okay, the important table on how to calculate for those probability values using the binomial table. I call it as important table. Okay, next. Now you look at your exercise question. Okay, exercise 1, question 5. You're given here 65% of the people in a community use the gym facilities in 1 year. Find the purchase of, for example, of 10 people. So your 65% here, alright, this is your P. Okay, for the case of people using the gym in 1 year, and this is a sample. Yes, this is your N. You want to find exactly 4 people to use the gym, and then at least 6 people who do not use the gym facilities. So bear in mind, in your table, your binomial table, alright, your binomial table. Now you have the P value until 0.5. But just now the question asks for the value of P is 0.65, meaning that you cannot use the binomial table straight away. So what you should do is you need to use the formula. Okay, so just take your P as 0.65. Q, of course, 1 minus 0.65 is equal to 0.35, and your N is 10. So in this case, because of this P value here is greater than 0.5, which you cannot find in the table directly, so you need to use the formula. Alright? So, formula, yes, you can find for exactly 4 directly. Calculate, and then you should get this value here. Okay, now, for question B, at least 6 people do not use the gym facilities. So in this case, you need to change for the P value. Because what you have here, initially 65% or 0.65, is referring to people who use the gym. And now you want to find for people who do not use the gene. So you should start by converting the P value here, right? So as if your P has been changed into previous Q. Okay, so now you have a new value for your P, and then of course new value for your Q as well. And it's still the same. And of course, because your P value is just 0.35, which is less than 0.5, and you can still find it in your table, so you can use the table directly. Alright? So again, this is the value that you get. Okay, next for your question. Okay, your question 6 of exercise 1 as well. You're given in a poll of 12 to 18-year-old females conducted by a company. Okay, 40% of the young females said they expected the US to have a female president within 10 years. Suppose a random sample of 15 females from this age group was selected. You want to find probability that a young female in the sample expect a female president within 10 years. Okay, so you have this 40% as your P. Alright, means it refers to young female says they expect the US to have a female president within 10 years. Okay, the statement is a bit long, the situation is a bit long. But you need to know your N as well. So you have here your N is 15. Alright? Okay, so you have your N. Of course, your N is 15. Your P is 0.4. And of course, your Q is at 0.6. So you need to find for all these. Okay, at least 9, at most 5, 6 to 9. Okay, 6 to 9 means you still need to include the 6 and the 9 in between 4 and 8. So you exclude the 4, you exclude the 8 as well. And finally, you want to find for X and 10. Right, so this is the first one. Okay, you want to find for at least 9 female. At least 9 female expect that they will have a female president in 10 years' time. So 1 minus probability of X less than 8 or equal to 8. So again, this part here, if you can't remember, please refer to the important table that we had seen earlier. Important table, right? So, okay, this should be here, okay. Alright, question A, 0.095, and then for question B, at most, meaning that 5 is the maximum number. So you start from X equals 0, X equals 1, X equals 2, X equals 3, X equals 4, until X equals 5. Alright. So this one, you can find 1 by 1, or if you want to find 1 by 1, then meaning you use the formula, or you can find the final probability value straight away from the table. This part here, if you want to find 1 by 1, meaning that you need to, you can use the formula as well. But a shortcut is just to look at the table directly, because our table here, our binomial table, is already in the form of cumulative. Okay, see. 6 to 9 include 6 and 9. Okay, this is how you're supposed to write your 6 to 9. And of course, you can find this value and this value from the table respectively. So please change here. Okay, they should be under the same, should be right under here. Okay, next. D. In between 4 and 8, okay, you exclude your 4, you exclude your 8. So you should start from X equals or less than 7, and of course X less than or equals 4. So again, these values here you can find straight away from the table, right? So today you find this, and then you get this, read from the table 1 by 1, then you minus to get the final value. And of course, lastly, this is very direct. Less than 10, of course, equals or less than 3, again directly from the figure.